They come and go. No one knows, except you get little evidences of it in the writings that people put. You know, we're thankful we stopped, or we thank the people that are responsible for this, and little thank yous, little prayers, little comments. And if it wasn't for them writing these things down, no one would know. But they're written, and people do acknowledge the fact that this is a very meaningful little chapel that just sits there and makes itself available. I think that's the mystery and the excitement about that Wayside Chapel. Well, you know, what's unique about it is that people can pause, rest, and worship by a tree, by a waterfall, by a creek, overviewing a mountain. They can do it anywhere. What's the attraction about, because this looks like a church? Why is that so unique? That's a mystery in itself. Because you could be alone with God anywhere. But the chapel represents something. It represents something more than just a tree. It represents a church. Well, you want the church, but you don't want a lot of the stuff that goes along with a church. You just want God. And maybe the Wayside Chapel is just that. An environment where you can just be with God. The Wayside Chapel was built in, it was dedicated on October 12, 1962. That was the Columbus Day storm. And because of the high winds and the storm conditions, they couldn't have the dedication at the Wayside Chapel. So they had it at our church here in Monroe. And they did it with the idea that people coming to the World Fair would also want to see the area, so they'd travel around. And they'd travel out into this area, and it would be a ministry. It would be a way of ministering to people. And so that's why it was put in the place of where it was, right on Highway 2, which is the highway leading to Stevens Pass. This was not built as a denominational project. Two churches combined together that were of the same denomination, but denomination was not a part of the Wayside Chapel. It was a way of pausing and for individuals to worship God in whatever the way they wanted, but there was the chapel. That was the environment was presented for anyone that wanted to use it. Basically, it's taking care of itself. There's nobody that's there that's on a steady basis. The only people that are there are the ones that stop. You know, people will come by and they enjoy stopping, and if they see something that needs to be taken care of, they just do it. The Wayside Chapel isn't something that I've grasped myself personally, but I've always been thankful that it's been there. You know, when you go to a church, a bigger church, there's a lot of people, and people can feel alone among all those people. You know, like if you go to a church and you don't have some group to meet with or somebody that you're familiar with, say you're just going into a church as a visitor for the first time, no one knows you. And they may receive you in a real friendly way, and you may receive a cold shoulder. You don't know. But you can be in a church, a mega church, and be alone. Well, you can go to the Wayside Chapel and be alone too, but it's a different aloneness. You're there because you want to be, and It's an opportunity between you and God. It's one-on-one. So there's a lot of distraction in the megachurches. You know, expectations are higher. Your expectations in a megachurch are you want to be entertained, or you want to feel like you're a part of the group, so on. There's none of that in the Wayside Chapel. It's just there. It's just you and God. Maybe that's what makes the Wayside Chapel so personable, so meaningful, so much more meaningful. Maybe that's what makes the Wayside Chapel so unique, is that it's just there. Somebody will write in there, you know, I was brought here when I was a child, and now I'm back again. Or I haven't visited this since I was a child, and the opportunity to stop. Like you say, if the walls could talk, I'm sure that the walls of that little chapel would be very excited to tell you all the neat stories. But those walls would also cry for all the little things that went wrong. It's a comforting surprise to know that the Wayside Chapel has remained so effective for so long. It's just a small little building. It's just a building. But when you're in there worshiping, it's more than a building. It's an opportunity. It's a place for you to commune with God. Offer your prayer, or just reflect, whatever you want to do. Maybe that's what makes it so unique. I don't know. Maybe the chapel just being there is a ministry enough. Who knows? Isn't that how God operates anyway? The smallest things, He can make wonderful things happen from.